How's it going, everyone? Larry here with the Farmstead Way, and today I want to teach you how to dress warm for outdoor work. Whether you're a blue-collar worker or you are a homesteader, you got to work outside all year long. I do heating and cooling work, and that puts me outside in all 12 months of the year. And over the past almost 8 years of me doing manual labor and outside work, I've found different tips and tricks on how to stay warm during the colder months. It's a very fine balance of finding things that are going to be functional versus comfortable and things that are going to keep you warm. So with anything with keeping warm, like you probably know, it's about layers. Right now, I've just got a base t-shirt, you can probably see it, a base t-shirt, a thermal shirt, a hoodie, and this vest. It's very important to layer up because sometimes you want to put more layers on, sometimes you're going to take one of the layers off. Especially here in Ohio, you get hot cold weather. 1 minute you're in the shade and you're freezing your butt off, and then next thing you know, you go out in the sun and you're sweating. So you got to have layers, and you need to be able to layer down to an appropriate level. For my pants, I normally try to wear heavier duty pants like these. I don't know what brand these are, but these are more of a canvasy kind of pant. And under here, I've got thermal long johns. And that is the most important thing, I think, when it comes to layering up is long johns, long underwear, wherever you want to call them. You want to have a base layer against your skin that's going to stop the wind from cutting through, and it's going to keep your heat in. If I'm not wearing my long johns or thermal shirt, everything else doesn't seem to matter because the wind just cuts straight through you. So first thing, thermal underwear, get you some. It's going to be a little uncomfortable at first until you get used to it, and then you won't be able to work without it. And then, like I said, a nice thermal shirt. And then something I've been doing a lot more this year is just literally wearing this. I have a nice fleece lined hoodie because it's nice to be able to put your hood up, keep the back of your neck and your head warm. And that leads me to my next point. One of the things that I really found out that keeps me warm is toboggans. I don't have a lot of hair left on the top of my head, and I used to wear ball caps and my head would freeze. I would just be so cold. A lot of heat escapes out through the top of your head. So if you can wear something to keep your head warm and the back of your neck warm, it pretty much stops almost all heat from escaping your head, and it keeps you immensely warmer. Something else that keeps the heat in is keeping your core warm. So I've got this Carhartt vest, which this is actually, let me take this off, is a women's large. So I had a hard time finding one of these because it seems like all of the men's vests are way too big, and you want to keep this close to your body. With clothes of any sort, when you keep them warm, you want them to be relatively tight. If they're loose and baggy, they're going to be horribly uncomfortable. Look, it's the dogs. Go now, go. And like I said, all of the men's vests were obnoxiously huge. Go away, go. Go now. The dogs. And what the vest allows you to do is to keep your core warm while not being super boxy. And it's nice having all the little pockets so you can put, notebooks in and pencils, your phone, without having to dig into your pockets through all these layers. Another tip that's really kept me warm is your base shirt. You want to tuck it in into your pants and then put your undershirt over it. Because what happens when you go to bend over and you have exposed skin? It sucks. Having wind touch your bare back or having water drip off the side of a house and go down your butt crack's not fun. The next thing, if this is not enough, is different jackets. I'm gonna come over here. So the jacket that I really like is this Duluth Trading Company fire hose material jacket. I've had this for a couple years now. I've crawled under all kinds of houses on top of gravel. And this is also fleece lined, but it's not super bulky. I mean, as you can tell, it adds a little bit of heft. But if the wind's really hitting it hard and it's nice and long, it keeps you warm. Now with this setup right here, I can work outside in 15-degree weather and be relatively comfortable. I have a pair of coveralls. It's just what sucks is if you gotta use the bathroom, you can't move. If you have to use the bathroom, it's hard to take off. If you gotta kneel down a bunch to do a bunch of work, you just feel like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and you're like all straightened out and you can't move, which if you have to get underneath the houses, kneel down to work on stuff, it sucks. Another option, this is one of my dad's old work jackets, is a insulated, it's not really Gore-Tex, but it's a rain resistant material. This will help you stay warm and dry. What sucks, this doesn't really work well in the summer as a rain jacket because it's insulated, but the only thing that sucks about this material is it rips. And when it comes to work clothes, you need stuff that is going to be durable. You can tell, tilt the camera down, just from catching pieces of metal. My pants have ripped here, they ripped here, and you need to find clothes that are durable, but also if they're too expensive, your heart's gonna break when they rip. And be prepared for your work clothes to rip. And they're gonna get destroyed. So do not buy anything that you're going to be super emotionally attached to, or it's gonna have an obnoxious price tag, which kind of sucks because the more quality and the more name brand that you get into, you're going to have a more heftier price tag. So it's finding that balance. If you buy something expensive and you're going to use it for work, be prepared for it to get destroyed within about a year. With boots, whoop, a little flexible, just Carolina composite toe work boots. I try to use shoes, wear shoes to work that don't have any venting on them. So that way, if I step in a puddle, my feet don't get soaked, my socks don't get soaked. I just wear normal socks. I don't really like, I don't like any super thick insulated socks because then your feet sweat and then you're just cold. Something else you want to consider that keeps you warm, good pair of work gloves. If you just go to your local farm supply store, you can pick you up just a decent pair of work gloves. Once again, there's a trade-off. These are thick, heavy-duty leather, but you're going to lose your dexterity. You're just really persistent in trying to be in this video. But your extremities, your face, and your feet are going to be the first thing that gets cold. So, go lay down. Go. So, but I forget where it was. I think I saw a scene in a movie where someone was holding their arms because they were freezing. And he said, warm your core, the rest will take care of themselves. If your core is warm, your hands, your feet, and your head and your face will stay warm too. I know a lot of people also wear those like ski masks things, or they'll wear those things that cover your face. Do not do that, because the hot air from your lungs will mix with the cold air from outside, and it will cause steam. That steam will eventually soak your face, and now your whole face is wet. Kind of the same thing with socks. If your feet get too hot, they're going to get cold. They're going to sweat. You're going to freeze. So if you need tips for like a thermal shirt, if you go to your local Walmart, they sell like these Henley shirts, super cheap, like $10. You can, I think sometimes they're even less on sale, $8. Buy you 3-4 pair of them, wear them a couple days in a row, and you're good to go. a lot of this is going to be tailored to your needs. I get cold easily, and there's just some people that can just take it. I know I have a family member that he wears shorts all year long, and as long as he's wearing a sweater, not a hoodie, and a toboggan, he's warm. And I don't see how he does that. And people like me, I have to layer up to no end to stay warm. So if you are new to blue collar work, if you're getting on a construction crew, a plumbing crew, HVAC crew, any sort of working environment where you're going to be outside, these simple tips will help you. And obviously, as you get used to certain things, you're going to find out what works for you. For me, I like having as much mobility as possible. I don't like being super bulky, because when you go underneath of a house to do work, it's miserable when you're stuck like a cadaver that's got rigor mortis and you can't hardly do anything, and you're going to start ripping stuff off of you so you can work, and then you're going to be cold. It's also for functionality. That's why I like having all my stuff on a belt instead of in my pockets, because the more layers you put on, it's, you know, the harder it's going to be to get to everything that's in your pocket. Once again, with coveralls, you have the front pockets in front. As soon as you take it off, whoop, all your stuff falls on the ground. So you need to make sure that all of your EDC and all of your tools that you're going to be using are secure. So these are just some quick basic tips for keeping your hands warm, for keeping yourself warm at work. I just said that because I stuck my hands in my pockets and they're nice and warm, because this has got fleece on the inside, and you get nice and snug. And just some, other random things, try not to drink too many cold beverages. If you're chugging pop or too much water, honestly, it's going to go inside your body, and then your body's gonna have to heat that up, and then it's not heating you up, and you're gonna freeze. So if you're new to any sort of construction work, any sort of outdoor work, you're getting into the job force and you are freezing your butt off, follow these tips and you'll never be cold at work again. So this is Larry for the Farmstead Way. Hope you all enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe, and tune in for similar content. If you have any comments, questions on anything I'm wearing, just let me know. I'm not sponsored by any of these things. It's stuff that I found that works for me. More name brand you go, the more quality it's going to be, but the more the price tag. So you just got to find what works for you. This is Larry with the Farmstead Way. You all take it easy.